The main reason I like Spain is it's got just about everything going for it. If you compare the benefits that we have compared with, say, northern Canada, it's just quite extraordinary. First of all, we have our climate. It's a lovely sunny day today. The sun shines maybe 320 days a year here. It never gets too cold. It does get a little bit hot in August, but it's bearable. The weather never stops you doing stuff. It's just great. Probably the nicest climate in the world to have a mine. And secondly, well, this is a first world country. First world countries have obvious advantages. No president is going to take your property away from you on a whim. You know, this does happen. You only have to go to Africa to see that. Or you have to be concerned about whether the Minister of Mines has discretion on whether he lets you keep your property or he gives it to a bunch of his cronies. So this is happening more and more in the third world. So we don't have any of those problems. There's a well-developed system here. Then they have a well-developed system of taxation. It's perfectly acceptable rate, it's about 30%. You can write off your capital expenditure against future income immediately. It's your choice whether you do so or not. There's no royalty system here. In addition to that, they provide grants for you. We get roughly 20% of our exploration expenses back in the form of cash grants. And you know, this is all very attractive stuff. But one of the things which is really great about Spain, and in particular for our properties, is the infrastructure which is here. Once again, I make the comparison with northern Canada. We have roads. We can drive within 2 to 3 kilometers of our Oropesa property, and we have a road right on the side of our Santa Maria property. These are tarred roads. You can drive onto both of our properties with two-wheel drive vehicles. Not many places in the world you can say that for a mining project. In addition, both properties have power lines crossing them. So we have more than enough electrical power. We have water for both properties very close by, and also you need people to operate the mine. In our case, we have within 3 or 4 kilometers of both properties a few small towns. And so we have people, we have the water, infrastructure is terrific. Spain is divided into a number of regions, or semi-autonomous regions. Our Oropesa project is in the region of Andalusia. Andalusia has recently had 2 major mining projects go through from start-up, and they're now big producers of copper. This is Inmet's Cobrelas Cruces mine, which is just outside Seville, and Iberian Minerals' Aguas Nidas mine, which is about 120 kilometers away. So the process is known. In addition, there are, it looks like the Eurotin mine, which is one of the world's most famous mines, will shortly be reopened. So people know the process here. It's laid down, you know what to do, and in the worst case scenario, Spain has something which is somewhat unusual. If you can't get agreement, for example, with a landowner, which is a very unlikely thing to happen, about acquiring the surface rights, you can sequestrate the property. And this is something which you can't have anywhere else in the world. In many ways, mining takes preference over any other form of economic activity. I'm biased, I think that's a good thing to happen. What happens in Spain is you have investigation permits. They last for 3 years. As long as you do what you say you're going to do, then they get renewed for up to another 3 periods of 3 years. During that process, when you're exploring, getting permits for drilling, that's not a problem at all. We get them from the local town hall. I think it took us 48 hours to get those permits. At Oropesa, we have all the permits we need for what we're doing right now, which is drilling. You also need access rights from the local farmers. And at this moment in time, we have all the access rights that we require. Once again, you must realize that people actually want this thing to happen. People are very cooperative. In fact, it's incredible how cooperative they are. There is one small problem we do have at Oropesa. There's quite a lot of landowners. There's about 12 of them. Anyhow, they've all come on board and they're all very happy, and we don't have a problem. Obviously, when you go to the next stage and you want to build a pilot plant, or you want to maybe go underground and have a better look at what you've got so you get a better understanding, that will require more permits. But at the end of the day, what really requires a lot of permits are the plant that you erect, the processing plant, and also the building and operation of the tailings dams. Now, Seville has a history of an environmental disaster which happened about 15 years ago. The Los Frailes tailings dam dumped about 15 million tons of high sulfide tailings in the local river, which killed everything. So, they're a little bit concerned it doesn't happen again. It's not a problem with modern technology to make a perfectly safe, secure tailings dam, and it's not expensive either.
Hablan con las piedras, pero aparte de eso son capaces de imaginarse el corte transversal a la tierra.
It doesn't matter where you are in the world, you need to have the populace or local population behind you. This is very, very important. And so these people, you need to keep them informed, bring the people along with you so they understand what's going on, they understand the benefits. I mean, right now in Spain, unemployment is pretty equal. The national rate is 21%, and locally, in both the areas we are, it's over 30%. And so the benefit of a mine to these areas is enormous. I'm looking forward now, and I would suggest that if both projects turn out to be what we hope they'll both be long-life mines. But we're not there yet. We're still a couple of years away from being absolutely sure about that.
There is a major opportunity for a new company to come in with a project of a scale which will fundamentally alter the supply side of the tin market, and particularly a company here in Europe as well. Well, economics-wise, you are 3-4 days trucking from your major markets in Germany, France, Belgium, the United Kingdom, and Spain. Spain itself is a significant consumer of tin. So logistics, transport costs are very, very much lower. All of the tin in Europe at the moment is coming either from Southeast Asia or from Peru, Bolivia. There is no major source of tin here in Europe at the present moment, and it is an important market, end user.